Right, so who's up first? I believe it is Dark. What do you have for us?
Yeah, it is me. I have the other show from this season that I've watched so far, which is Tomo-chan wa Onnanoko,
So this
or
this isn't the
Tomo-chan is a
controversial one.
girl.
The other one is the controversial one.
No,
But
yeah,
anyways,
this
yeah,
is the
yeah.
non-controversial. Well, this
Let
is
me ask this.
controversial because it has hitting girls in it.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me
five.
let me
Surprise,
let me
So
ask
Trax.
this real quick, Dark. Did you watch this dubbed or subbed?
There's a dub to
bro,
this?
in what
Oh
what
no!
Simuldub, brother.
fucking
Simuldub.
Simul
universe?
dub?
In
Sheesh.
what
Oh
world do
no!
you think I'm gonna be out here watching this shit fucking like dubbed? Like,
So wow, Dark. I can't believe you're not supporting Sally Amaki then.
You're not supporting
yeah,
the anime industry,
whatever.
bro. You gotta support Crunchyroll and
You
the
have-
people who do simul dubs.
listen, bro. I
You
already
have
supported Sally
to watch it.
Amaki when she voiced the character for like 10 seconds in Boji, okay?
Yeah.
And also when I was
You
playing
have to watch it
Overwatch.
in English so you can compare her English voice to her Japanese voice.
Yeah,
we've
that's
never
not
heard her.
happening
We
considering
have to
like
we have to know how fluent she is in English.
again, Sally Amaki, sure,
Was she
like
born in
great,
California?
but at the
Yes,
same time,
that's
like
the joke.
Takahashi
Yeah.
Rie, dude. Like,
Wait,
come on.
wait, is Takashi Rie doing the main character?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, and it's very good.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
Like in my head, I feel like it should work, but the reason why I was a little bit hesitant was because like for the full like really just like kind of like full on voice Genki kind of boom 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 kind of thing. I feel like she's because her regular tone is a little bit lighter, right? Like she does the tomboyish thing, but her register is lighter, right? It's not like a Ayane Sakura where they can kind of or like Aoyuki, right? Where they can kind of they have a higher voice, but they can boot it down, right? So I do think yeah, in my head it should work, but it's definitely interesting. I haven't sorry, I haven't watched it yet though. So okay. Uh you want to give us a quick summary?
yeah,
I've read the
so
manga. Has everybody here read the manga or no?
Ended, so yes, I've read it.
Okay. Nier, what about you? I think have you read
For
it or watched it?
for this?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Dang, Nier,
So
you
yeah.
don't like tomboys?
I thought you were about to ask, do you not like women?
Whoa!
I mean,
That's
I
you.
don't
That's you,
know. I
bro.
can't say
That's you.
anymore.
Hey man, Nier likes women.
I'm an
You're
ally.
like
No,
Saber,
you're not
apparently.
gonna you're not gonna beat the allegations, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gotta hide my Unite Up rerun watching.
I don't know,
Good stuff.
Spire. Nier has specifically said he likes Saber, while you have yet to say which women you like in anime.
In anime?
Yeah.
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 Don't.
You know what?
See?
If you like
If you
women so
don't-
much, why don't you name all of them? Hmm?
Yeah. Why don't you
Name
why don't you
every
like
woman.
anime women if you don't like women? if you like women, but yeah,
Name the top woman of 2022.
top woman. For a second, I really wanted to say like that the new prime minister of Italy or whatever it was or whatever she was. Like I really wanted to
The
say that for a
literal
second.
fascist, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The literal Mussolini supporter or whatever. Anyways,
Alright, if you didn't know, here, look up this list. Then come back to me.
which list? What? Oh, this is
The
okay,
100
never mind.
world's most powerful women.
Yeah. I saw this. I actually was reading a little of this a couple of days ago. But anyways,
True.
that is neither here nor there. I was surprised that the Tomo-chan thing, but definitely an interesting choice. I think it does work, and on paper, Toast and I have read it. Toast, have you watched episode 1 so far?
No, because I'm waiting for the English dub.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have not watched it. I'll probably be watching it
Because
shortly.
I have
read
to
it as well.
support Sally Amaki. You know, how else is she gonna? I mean,
Yeah, how she's got to earn the bucks, bro?
if you
From
don't support her
Crunchyroll,
English
yeah.
roles, yeah, how's she gonna host the next Crunchyroll Awards
How's
next
she
year,
gonna-
right?
Oh my god,
Hosting
dude.
the Crunchyroll Awards.
Yeah, truly the highest honor. I would rather she stayed away from that.
It's like that one woman who had that like super like weird like feathery dress who was like hosting the Game Awards, and everybody was just like, "Who is this person? Where's the Doritos Pope?" or whatever it was. Yeah,
I mean, I hope she'll be okay because she has social anxiety.
yeah, she does. Um, but anyways, Dark. Brief summary, please, of the series.
Yeah, so I'll take this right from Mal, but Tomo Aizawa and Junichiro Jun Kubota are the tightest bros you would ever see. They roughhouse and spar, but through thick and thin, they've got each other's back. Yet there is one small problem. Tomo is in love with Jun. Since she was young, tomboyish Tomo has been just another one of the guys. And due to his extreme muscle brain nature, Jun does not notice any of her advances. Not even when she explicitly confesses. To add insult to injury, for the longest time, he did not even realize that she was a girl. Will Tomo ever be able to catch Jun's eye and escape the infamous bro zone? Very infamous fact. Very notable, very infamous. Happens all the time. True tragedy. But yeah, so this series is pretty fun. It's interesting because it's like even that description didn't really do it justice in a sense. Like it didn't really capture what the essentially what the series like really is.
Uh-huh.
Because the series is way more so of like, how should I put this? It's not like really like, oh, will they, won't they? Like at least like I haven't read it, but it seems very much like they will, but how long is it going to take to get there?
Yeah, I mean
Um
that's
and
um
also it's not that like already in episode 1, it's not that like June is literally like too stupid to
okay, yeah.
see her like as a girl. Like
Mhm.
that's not the case at all. Like it seems way more so one of those scenarios that they're going to do where it's like, you know, he's unsure or like nervous of like ruining a friendship or something,
Yeah.
or
Which
like
is like an
change,
actual
or
thing
essentially a
that like people
change in a
worry about.
relationship
Yeah.
between them, more so than it is the other way. And it seems more so that Tomo's interpretation of that is the idea that he doesn't even see her as a girl.
Yeah.
Um
And I think that sort of like approach is definitely a little bit more natural than the whole like, what? You like me? Like kind of thing, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's been, like I said, it's been I feel like that definitely has made it a little bit more interesting in that regard. Um just because it's like um it's not like the same sort of that same sort of feel you get from the usual like what do I want to say? Not will they, won't they? The usual like this sort of scenario with, I guess, like a will they, won't they?
Yeah. I mean,
Because it's a lot
this
more
is like
clear as to like what's going on, more
Mhm,
so, and like there's sort of like a misinterpretation, but it's not like that broad. There are a
mhm,
couple of characters, like the supporting cast is like pushing them more and more too, like way faster than you would normally expect, and is
mhm.
way more on board and like aware. I would compare some of the supporting cast too to almost like the Uzaki supporting cast, but probably like to say a little bit more what would you say, on a little bit more like on the ball in a way, a little bit more
More,
forceful.
yeah. A little bit more like aware of the like not like aware of the coupling, but it's like they take less of an observer role and more of a kind of natural like, oh, you should do this or whatever role kind of. Because Uzaki, I think the supporting cast in Uzaki-chan are pretty much the reason why they're set up is to for them to react to the relationship, right? It's pretty much none of them do anything. All of them kind of are observers, and they all react in different ways. And them reacting in different ways gives part of that value to watching the series, right? Because like one person will go like, "Oh man, oh it's good to see these two young guns just like become enamored with each other, like make a good couple," and then or like the friend or the mother will be like, "Oh no, blah 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 blah," or like they'll like have these different reactions, and that's part of um why you will sort of watch Uzaki-chan, right? Or why some people watch Uzaki-chan. But with this, the supporting cast is definitely kind of doing a little bit more to actually push the story beyond just observing and reacting. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, they're
I think it's
definitely
yeah.
taking a more active role in that regard.
Mhm.
But I would say I think the other thing is that it's more so to me that I guess sort of their interactions too are a little bit more natural in a way, a little bit less it's a little bit less like fully comedic in that sense too.
A little bit less
If that
fully
makes any
comedic,
sense.
not more
Yeah,
fully comedic.
it's
Okay,
yeah, it's a
wait, you
little
want
bit
to
less. It's a little
clarify?
bit more subdued with how a lot of
Oh,
the
okay, okay,
supporting
okay,
cast
okay,
like
okay.
approaches these situations and like approaches
Like
talking to them
again, like
about it.
Uzaki-chan, like kind of
Well,
observation
Uzaki-chan,
and reaction.
I feel like Uzaki-chan is a little bit more like, what would you say? Not all over the place. It is a little bit more extreme in some senses
Yeah,
in
I
that
was
regard.
contrasting
Like
it
they
where
are
it's
kind of
like
like,
people, yeah, those supporting characters are more extreme than what you're describing in Tomo-chan, right? Because in
yeah,
Tomo-chan, it's like they're a little bit more like they're not like bouncing off the roof in order to create that sort of back and forth, like, oh, you did that? Oh, you guys are, oh, what's happening? Kind of that sort of like extreme reaction for the
yeah,
anime. Yeah. Um, so I just wanted to go back to sort of what you were talking about with the will they won't they, and I do think that this is like a variant, obviously, of like because you were like, oh, I mean, it's not really a will they won't they, it's more like a they will, but it's like how long, which in my opinion it is sort of like a variant on the will they won't they, but it's like because a lot of like
yeah,
shoujo
in a
series
way,
have that, right, where it's like the main couple is set up there, it's just like is it going to take 50 chapters or is it going to take 244 chapters, right? But I think
yeah,
one of the more important thing is sort of integrating this idea that you just stated about the will they won't they with the idea that you just stated before about the supporting cast being organic, and I think that also counts for the main characters as well, because when you have these sorts of characters being a little bit more subtle, right, and kind of being like, oh, okay, like this is the thing that's happening, or like this we could be in a relationship, or like whatever, kind of thinking about that instead of being like, me in love with that guy? No way. Like, oh, I'm blushing. There's no way I could possibly be in a relationship with that. That sort of like very standard
yeah,
start to the will they won't they. And on top of that, on top of that sort of like bouncing off of each other that happens for like, 70 chapters or 120 chapters or 550 chapters or how many chapters it is. I think there's another part of it where it's like a lot of these shoujo series, and not even the shoujo series, plenty of other series, something like, maybe a good example might be something like Masamune Kun's Revenge, right? Um,
yeah,
they have they set up the love triangle very purposefully, right? So it's like, oh, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna get along. All right, here's a new girl or here's a new guy, right? And then that sort of like very like obvious, purposeful, like, oh, like there's this other guy that might be tempting me, and then they have all that drama, right? But I think Tomo-chan doesn't really have any of that, because and I think that's more natural, because in most like relationships, like when you're struggling with these sorts of things and when you're coming together, and in most contexts, right, it's not really a love triangle. It's not really a love triangle. So I do think that's definitely overall a better way to do things, although that obviously doesn't mean that love triangles don't exist. That's not what I'm saying, but I do think that this is more natural. This is more like the norm, right? Um,
yeah.
than the standard version. Yeah. What'd you think about the audio visuals?
So the audio visuals are pretty serviceable, you know? Like this is from Leduce.
Who's doing? Oh, Ladies. Okay.
Yeah, so they're not
Okay.
like it's not like there's some of it that's like good, there's some of it that's just like fine, like right? There's
Uh-huh.
nothing that's like bad. There's nothing that's
Yeah.
like stand out to be like awful. But there's
Mhm.
nothing that's also like kind of super amazing. The more comedic
Mm.
stuff is like kind of fun. The little they do a little slight adjustments, but there's nothing like super crazy between like art style switches either.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it seems much more standard as an adapt. I guess the other thing to comment with the characters though, I guess I should say too is that you know, not a lot of the supporting cast is there. Um,
What do you mean by that?
but oh no, hold on, I got sidetracked because I just realized too that Seliamaki is playing the blonde-haired girl in the Japanese dub, like in the
Yes.
Japanese voices.
Yes.
Yes.
So
As
what?
Toast
Why would
said,
Toast,
she's
what were
doing
you
the
talking? She's
Japanese
doing
and the
both?
English voice for both. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
okay. So
both.
I will check that out then.
That's
'Cause
why
this
I
My
is
was
my
asking
not
my
if
but
you're
she's
gonna
not
watch the
in the
English
show
dub.
yet. She's not in the show.
my
That's why
my
I didn't
guess is
realize.
that the main production hired her as a Japanese voice, and then probably Crunchyroll or whoever's
Crunchyroll was
localizing
like,
or whatever.
hey,
Yeah, they
Yeah, it was like,
Here's some
well,
also
for
they're
free.
already doing
yeah,
this character.
and also
Um,
it creates some like news headlines for them essentially.
yeah,
So that yeah.
which you know is always nice and
Mhm.
always something that I feel like
Oh,
you know would be
Young
cool
Hockey.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's cool to see, especially that sort of gimmick, considering that is the opposite of what happened with Overwatch that I wanted to happen. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. But
but
yeah.
yeah, so that I thought that I think is kind of cool. But what I was going to say more so about the supporting cast was that I feel like the so far from what we're seeing from the supporting cast is like I don't want to say like more. It's a weird tone that bounces back and forth between like the three main friends. With the third girl, like Mizusu Gundo.
Mhm.
She is like a very like cool-headed, like but manipulative character.
Mhm.
Um, they describe her in a flashback scene as like when they were all kids, and they would pull like whether it be pranks or get into trouble, she would always be the one that just miraculously goes missing right before they get yelled at.
Right,
Um,
right,
and she is still like she's like a very more like emotionally subdued character, but the way she pulls strings is kind of interesting. Like she's pretty forceful with with it, and she also it's like it's weird because I haven't seen like she's not particularly like a masochistic character or like a sort of like I want to say like mean spirited in a way,
Mhm.
but she's very like with some of the ways she messes with them is like to set them up is like pretty harsh with some of the shit she says. But I kind of enjoy seeing that because I do think that overall between the way her character is functioning and so far of like what has happened in episode 1, I feel like
Mhm.
there's a chance that you know this at least for this anime season 2 it's also going to go somewhere. Like we're going to get
Right.
progression, which
I think also ultimately like it's good that the characters have an organic base because ultimately they are supposed to be realistic characters within literature. But I think part of the whole like then kind of just being harsh or kind of the other girl Carol or whatever, right, the blonde girl, they kind of just like drifting off or whatever, right, and all these things are kind of not, I don't want to say byproducts, but they are natural symptoms and consequences of this being a sort of yonkoma or of this being a sort of, X coma, like a short manga series, right? That's based off kind of like, it's supposed to be sort of based off quicker, like smaller gags, right? So that means that a lot of these characters are kind of based off quips Obviously the main characters get way more screen time and they have more development capabilities, but a lot of these supporting characters also kind of like just have to be on screen time, say their shtick, and kind of be gone, right? Or like they have to make it land. So I think that's part of also what you're seeing from these interactions as well, just like the natural structure of how the original material came about. And that might be kind of affecting some of how they're talking or doing whatever, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that kind of does pretty much nail it. And um yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I think that it's a much more standout in a way series because of that and because of how they interact with each other. I think especially if you enjoy like a sort of will they won't they type series, you would definitely enjoy this just because of the fact that kind of again you can kind of guess that yeah like they will, but
Mhm.
so you don't have that like nagging shit at the back of your mind.
But who's your favorite character?
Tomo obviously.
Yeah, until by a couple of miles. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
who's your
mean
favorite character, Spire?
Tomo, of
Really?
course. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Oh, okay. Wait, who did you think my favorite character would be?
You know who my favorite character is?
Who?
Sally Amaki.
That's
that
not
is
a character
not
in
a
the series,
character. All
Toast.
right.
That is not what I
I
asked.
don't even remember that chick's name, but all I know is she's voiced
Carol.
by Sally. Yeah,
Yes.
and Carol.
Anyways. Uh,
But yeah, I
so,
guess other than that, audio visuals fine. Like I said, OPD fine, and yeah, the pacing is solid. So really no complaints.
okay. So I guess pretty good. Any last words? Anything that you want to wrap it up with or no?
No, I think just in general,
What's your mall score?
my mall score would probably be like an 8. I guess if I was to give it like a true mall score or something. I don't really even know how to.
You're not gonna give it a 6 like that one guy.
Yeah,
It's like six,
yeah, 6
six,
everything
both the
actually. You know
worst thing
what?
and the best thing I've watched.
It's so good. It's actually, you know what? It's good, also garbage at the same time
Yeah,
when you think about it.
it's a legend that changed my life. 6. But yeah, anyways, this is what it is. Tomo-chan is a girl. Tomo-chan wa Onnanoko, and it is done by It is headed by Leidus Productions, who did previously Hero in Tarumono, and I believe Gunjuno Fanfare of Adolescence, that like horse riding whatever thing was, horse riding boy idols. I believe Takahashi Rie is doing the main character again at
Yes,
the Aizawa
and
Tomo of Tomo.
Kaito Ishikawa is
Yes,
doing
that is a
the
pretty
male
like
lead.
solid. Like if you were gonna close your eyes and just like be like, or like if you were gonna do like lightning round, right? And you're like, okay, these two characters, quick, like just think of two voice actors that would be suitable to voice these. These two will be like pretty close to the top.
Amelie and Sally Amaki. Paired.
I think you need one boy and one girl for this. Toast.
Who's the guy that voices Archer in Unlimited Blade Works?
This is it.
What's his name? What's his name? Kaiji Tang. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. Well, that's probably not a bad choice either. But yeah, um, yeah, they're pretty like for these sorts of roles, pretty like classic choices for the top of the list. But yeah. Anyways, if you do like sort of yonkoma adaptations, or I believe it is yonkoma adaptation, or like short manga adaptations, of like this, kind of a
Wait,
small rom com.
Oh,
Will
even
they?
better, it's a web manga.
Yeah, it's a web manga. I forget
it's
like
a
how many
one.
panels it is.
It's a one-page.
Yeah,
Chapter.
okay. Ichikoma. If you do like shorter manga, web manga, like Ichikoma kind of stuff, If you do like the rom-com kind of more organic, will they, won't they? Please do check this out.
But Spire, who would win in a fight?
Who between
What?
between who would in a fight between?
Did you think I was gonna say Amelie and Saliamaki? Because
No,
I
I
will
have
now.
I don't think that was the exact Thunderdome matchup I was expecting, but
But yeah, my actual question was who would win in a fight, Tomo-chan or Shikimori? Because Shikimori is also a one-page
Isn't
manga.
Shikimori pretty high spec? Like she does like actual things. Like Tomo-chan is like tomboyish, but like Shikimori like actually like it's supposed to be
Hey
like
man,
super high spec, right?
Tomo-chan's dad owns a dojo.
Oh, that
You
is
forget that?
true. Yeah, that is
So
true.
who'd win?
I would probably still put my money on Shikimori, but yeah.
All
Yeah, I
right.
think that's how it works lore wise, but I don't know. But anyways,
So that's
um,
your type, huh?
yeah. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say Shikimori is my type. I
You
wouldn't say
don't
Shikimori
like
is.
pink-haired girls, Spire? I know who you're. You like a lot of pink-haired girls. Yogasaki Mika, Momo. That's all I got.
Yeah, but like yeah, that's all. You're like a lot of them. Here are two, exactly two. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I do like both Jogo Sakimika and I do like Momo, but it's like their place within the group is very special. Although that sounds weird in the case of Mika, but it doesn't sound weird in the case of Momo and To Love Fruit. But um, I like their personalities, okay? I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's for their personalities.